This is Lisa Mellon with the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. Today we are going to talk to you about a very exciting event that is going to happen between August 27th through the 29th, and that is Crawford Gives. This is an event that is sponsored by the Crawford Heritage Community Foundation. Now, one nonprofit organization that you can give to during this event is the Dr. Martin Luther King Scholarship Fund. And today, I am here to talk to several members who are part of a subcommittee called the Sustainability Committee. And first, I'd like to introduce you to Lisa Youngs. She is the co-chair of the Sustainability Committee for the Meadville Dr. Martin Luther King Scholarship Fund. Good morning, Lisa.
Hi, Lisa. Thank you so much. We're so happy to have Armstrong here with us, and I'd like to introduce you to our other committee members. As we said, I'm Lisa Youngs. I'm the co-chair along with Melissa Burnett of the Scholarship Sustainability Committee. We have with us Dr. Nancy Smith, who is a retired professor from Allegheny College. She is on the board of the fund and also is the director of the mentoring program, which is a middle school program. She'll be talking more about that shortly. We have Reverend Melissa Burnett with us, and she's a longtime board member of the fund, and she is my co-chair along with myself doing the Sustainability Committee efforts to support the fund. Then we have Dr. Steve Onyewu from Allegheny College. He's a professor there, and he's on our Sustainability Committee as well. So we're all working very hard towards supporting the scholarship fund.
What a wonderful group of people you've brought for us to talk to today. So, Lisa, could you explain to us a little more about the Scholarship Fund?
Sure. The Meadville Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Scholarship Fund was formed in 1968, and it's been an ongoing effort ever since that time to raise funds for scholarships. And it's done a great job of doing that to the point where there's now an endowment with the Crawford Heritage Community Foundation for that purpose. Reverend Burnett would talk a little further about that. She's been involved even longer than I have.
Could you tell us some more?
Well, we've been actively engaged with this endeavor since 1968, as Lisa said. Our scholarship is endowed, and we're with the Crawford County Heritage Foundation. But every spring, around March, we go into Meadville area high school, and we engage students, and we present our scholarship, and we work hand in hand with them, the guidance counselors, and soliciting participation and application process. That's usually around the time they get their acceptance letters back from colleges because they're graduating. These are high school seniors. So the scholarship is based on academic criteria, need-based criteria, and we get a slew of them. Everyone applies for our scholarship. However, we determine as a board, and it's sometimes a pretty hard decision because they're all very worthy and deserving of it. But we only give monies based on what our interests and payback from our endowment fund. That's why the Sustainability Committee is so important, because that's our fundraising committee. That's why Crawford Gives is so important, because every penny we make, we put back into the endowment fund so that we can have more and give more. So it's very important that we have this kind of publicity, because the more we have, the more we can give.
Yes, and we were talking earlier when I came in. This is such an important time right now. If you want to go into what we were talking about with the economic struggles that these children are facing.
Absolutely, Lisa. Thanks for that. I think more than any period, this is a period where we need to step up and support students who are struggling, whose families face difficult trade-offs. We live in an inflationary period where cost of living is skyrocketing, and unfortunately families have to make difficult decisions, difficult trade-offs between food and medical care. They are making difficult decisions about housing, how to pay their rent, and how to send their kids to school, and so on. So every little penny we can gather will go a long way to alleviating some of these unfortunate economic pressures. And when we do that, we're also supporting our community. We are empowering our youths, giving them the skills to help keep our community vibrant and sustainable. The other thing, too, that we need to recognize is that higher education is becoming more and more unaffordable. The cost is escalating every day, putting education out of the reach of many families. So again, everything we can do to make it easier for these families to be able to have access to education. So education is not supposed to be just for the rich. It's something that should be accessible to our youths, regardless of their socio-economic background or their economic predicament. So let's step up. Let's go and see how we can.
I agree.
So
I
we just
agree.
have to be energized to see how we mobilize every penny to support these kids.
Absolutely. And I know that there are other things that you are doing besides Crawford Gives, which is so important to do. So we don't want to forget about that. Would you like to talk about some of the other fundraising that you do for the scholarship fund?
Well, I know we send out letters in November, and I just want to add that I just started in June as president of the Meadville Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Scholarship Fund. So I've only been on the committee for about 3 years. So I'm fairly new to all of this and still learning and figuring out my way. But one of the things that we do is send out letters to people at the end of the year, and if they are ready to use their money in a great way, then they could send us a check and it would go into the scholarship fund.
Oh, how wonderful. And let's talk briefly. Last year, how many students were able to be recipients for the fund?
Well, this year, which we just, I think was May, had our scholarship reception, we awarded 3 recipients in excess of a little bit over $8,500.
Oh, that's amazing.
And again, like I said, it was based on income, need. Over the last few years, we've taken it back to that criteria because they're all eligible academically, or they wouldn't apply. So the more monies we have, because there's a great need. We could have awarded them all scholarships, but we just had to cap it somewhere.
Oh, that's so wonderful to hear. And what an amazing thing you all are doing for the youth in this community. We're truly blessed to live in such a caring and giving area. I see it every day from our community members, and it's been quite an honor to sit with you all today to hear about the amazing things you're doing.
Yes,
And
thank
Thank
you.
Yeah, and one of the things, talk about a caring community, that happens is our after-school enrichment program for 7th and 8th graders. And what often happens is people volunteer their time to come and talk to these students, to come and, because it is an enrichment program, so we want them to learn what is out there in the community. And one of the things that we have the students help prepare is the program called the Beloved Community, where we have tables and all different organizations from the community come and talk to parents and talk to students and talk to anybody that comes to the Beloved Community about what they do. And it really is an eye-opening experience for some of these kids to know what we have in this community of Meadville that they didn't know before. And so one of the things I would like to add, though, is that we're right now short a director for the after-school enrichment program. So if anybody out there is interested, please contact Nancy Smith. So that would be very helpful.
Well, and I think we to mention also that the mentoring program has done the summer program.
Oh, that's right.
Which,
We also have a
which is
summer
an
program.
incredible enrichment
Yes.
experience for
Summer
kids.
blast,
And
right.
Dr.
That's
Smith
right, the
can
summer
talk
blast,
about
exactly. And so we've done everything from rocket ships and reading the book Hidden Figures because it fit in with the whole rocket theme, to gardening and robots, to this year we did sort of add an international aspect to it for 2 weeks because I was in Europe for 2 weeks and I, via internet, took the kids around for half an hour and showed them the Paris Air Show and showed them the German trains and showed them the Brandenburg Gate and, you know, everything that I was seeing then they got to see. So that was fun.
And I had the honor of speaking at that a year ago,
Yeah.
and just I was amazed myself at seeing the breadth of the program
Yeah.
because they have a drill team that learns discipline in marching. They had drama where they learned to play and actually presented it, and the rocket science, environmental science. They're out testing
right.
Rainbow Lake for components that they studied, and the whole experience I think for a child that age is utterly amazing. And the European trip, it opens the world to them and shows them what's out there that they could learn about if they go on in education.
And during the year, it's also enrichment. So we repeat many of these same programs because it is only for 7th and 8th graders. So we have sort of a 2-year curriculum kind of set up that will rotate every 2 years so that we get the new kids coming in to enrich their lives too. And the nice thing is the connection too between the after-school enrichment program and the scholarship fund is that we've had many of our former students go
Exactly.
on to win scholarships from the scholarship fund, which is always so exciting.
Well, and I'm sure for them exciting because they have that connection to your program.
Right.
That's right.
And it means something to them. It's not
Yeah.
just
That's
a
right.
scholarship.
Yeah,
That there's probably a sense of pride.
yeah.
And another thing we do that's really enhances our reception, we bring back a former recipient to be the guest speaker. And it just really opens up their eyes. So this year we had a Hollywood movie
Yeah, producing.
producer. And he's doing great things right now. And so we were able to do a press conference with Armstrong. And in the newspaper, he did an assembly at the middle school for the mentoring program, and not just the mentoring program, but the whole of the middle school. And it was like exciting. And Daniel Johnson was his name, and he's a Meadville native. So and it was 20 years ago when he received this scholarship, and he came back and, and he blessed the community. He thanked the scholarship board. He wouldn't be where he is today if it wasn't for our help. So we bring them back and encourage the recipients and the graduates and encourage them to go on and be all they can be. And one day they'll come back.
Yes, they will.
To add to that, the reception is also a platform for building community because those recipients, they come with their family members, extended family members, and then you get to meet people in the community that you have never ever met before. And so it's great for building community. The other program that we need to let the public know about is the Savor for Scholars program, which is one of our signature programs for raising money for the scholarship. For those who like cultural things, music, and tasting international food, and going on auctions and gift baskets. So we do this in April as one of our signature fundraising activities. So if people have other means of supporting us, that's also an opportunity to not only support but also to experience some good stuff.
Yeah, I heard-
That's been a wonderful event. This will be our third year for doing it. So April 20th, save the date, everybody. April 20th, Saturday night, 2024, we will be having that event again. Again, live music. 50 Miles to Empty has been very generous giving their time this past year, and we hope to have them back again. Dr. Steve's been very active in getting auction materials together this past year, and we're working toward that even as we speak. And every kind of basket you can imagine has been there. We had how many last times?
100.
100 baskets.
Wow.
And ticket sales. We have some signature prizes. And I would like to give a little tribute to Dr. Armindia Dixon came up with a lot of these ideas. And she's recently retired from both mentoring and our committee, but she has been an amazing inspiration to all of us to bring this to life the way it has. So the Savor for Scholars event was her brainchild, so to speak, that was the heritage of Meadville. So getting a lot of people to come together and cook for us, to donate their foods and say whatever heritage you're from, to bring your food and share it. And so you go through 8 or 10 tables of different international foods, and there's a cultural display. Each person decorates their table from their country, and it's just a fascinating, reminding us all of how broad the community is, and the roots are from all over the world. So it's been a real thrill to be a part of that.
That sounds really exciting.
Yeah,
I'm gonna mark that date in my calendar. But it certainly has been a pleasure again to speak with you all, and I think it's so important. It highlights this amazing nonprofit agency and how important it is during Crawford Gives. You know, when you're scrolling through, and there's so many deserving and wonderful nonprofits in this area, but this is something that truly has a direct impact on the children in this area and how we can help them expand and broaden their futures.
Right. And we would like to thank Crawford Heritage Community Foundation because they've sponsored Crawford Gives now for several more years than this. And that is an amazing fundraiser. There is a partial match, so we encourage people to give to our organization and all of them because there's a partial match, so it's even more beneficial than any other time of the year. And the foundation invests the funds. So this is our endowment for the scholarship purposes, is that they invest the fund that we've given them and that we are desperately trying to add to every year. And that fund is then invested with economies of scale because they have a lot of funds like ours. And then there is a return paid back. So whatever that produces, and there's a return set that is meant to kind of level out the market waves. So about a 4%, sometimes it's a little more, return each year. And that's where we get our funds to give the scholarship monies out. So the more we grow that fund, the better the scholarships are going to get.
Absolutely. Well, thank you again so much for taking this time this morning to talk about this. And I look forward to speaking with you guys again. I think maybe a little closer to April. We can talk about the event that you have planned. So, but again, thank you so much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you very much. Thanks.